I thought I might find you here. Oh, put that sword away, would you? I'm not here to fight. No, actually, I'm not. I came to see how you were handling the news. It's not every day that you hear the Druidic Council denounce the High Crown of the Eternal Veils, all for the reasoning that they refuse to court anyone, no less. It's made for a very... well, it was quite a surprise to us all. Even more so because you were crowned a fair few years ago, and have been doing a better job than a vast majority of your predecessors. It's more than a little strange. No, I'm not mocking you. In fact, I think it was a rather stupid decision on the Council's behalf. Rarely do I ever think they've made a bad decision, let alone one that could do more harm than good. But this is... I can hardly believe that the Council would truly believe this would be the best course of action. It's an act that would only lead to the harm of many of the elven folk. It's a difficult thing to say, but I'm quite disappointed in them. I had never thought they were capable of something so moronic. Well, those are certainly some strong words, but I can't help but to agree. It's a move only a fool would make. And yet, they've decided that you're unfit to rule, all for the simple reason that you aren't betrothed. What ridiculous reasoning. It's not as if you've ever needed someone by your side to rule. Even though you and I haven't seen eye to eye for quite a while. I'd be lying if I were to say you were an unfit high crown to your people. I highly doubt there's anyone that could take your place and match your ability, let alone surpass it. Now don't look so pleased with yourself. You and I both know that, despite our rather complicated personal history, we've always stood next to each other when it comes to the good of our kingdoms. You're tenacious, hard-working, and honor your word, which are traits I greatly respect and admire. It's why I find it so infuriating that the Council would admonish you for something as trivial as not having taken a lover. Did they happen to give you a reason as to why they came to such a decision? How ridiculous. They thought that you, of all people, needed another person to shoulder the weight of the crown with you? What a foolish notion. You've done fine for years now. Why would you need someone now? I suppose you're right. The reason is not of importance anymore. Now, all that matters is what your response will be. So, what are you planning to tell the Council? Asking for my advice now? By all the high courts, I never thought I'd see the day. Surely the flames of hell must be climbing towards the crust of the earth, and frost must be ravaging your fruitful isles. I dare say that this may be the end of times. Don't look at me like that. I'm not making fun of you. I'm making fun of the situation. Though I suppose you're right, that a situation that has devolved to this level of agreement only affirms my thoughts that the Council is wrong. It's not something that we should take lightly. All right. If you really want my advice, I'll ask you this first. Do you plan to agree to the Council's ruling, or to oppose it? Well, there's benefits to both sides. To agree with them would allow you to maintain your position with support from the Council. To oppose them would allow you to remain unmarried, as you wish. However, the downsides to opposing them is that you would invoke their wrath, and they might call on the other kingdoms under their protection to attack the Eternal Vales. While I have no doubt of the strength of the elven people, you and I both know that there would be too many enemies to fight on your own. The choice is yours to make, but I should think that one of those two options sounds much better than the other. The idea of marriage annoys you that much. Dare I ask why? If that's the case, then all you need to do is find someone who isn't so obsessed with the idea of romance. Or, at the very least, who isn't obsessed with those flowery tales of royals who would trade their entire kingdom for their lover's sake. Then what other criteria do you have? As much as I hate to say so, I think you might need to be a bit more lax on your requirements for a spouse. Even if you weren't pressed for time, it would still be a challenge to find someone who possesses all those qualities. Or, in some cases, who lacks those qualities. Stubborn as ever, I see. Then you should try approaching this from a different angle. Who can you think of that would be willing to marry you, and that you would be able to get along with? If love isn't something that you see as feasible in these circumstances, then you should at least seek an amicable companionship. You're being overdramatic. There must be at least a few people that come to mind, yes? Someone who you can get along with, who won't impede on your duties? Then think harder. Surely you can think of someone who you can trust and rely on without them being dependent on you. Someone who will fulfill their duties and can help you with your own. Someone respectable and with a good head on their shoulders. Then, if not that, then perhaps someone who knows you well and can help you in your personal life. Or someone who could keep you company as a friend. Someone who you could have an enjoyable conversation with. No? There's no one you know that would be a reliable, clever, and thoughtful enough partner to consider marriage with? Really? By the high courts, just how lowly do you think of me then? Do I really not fit any of those criteria in your eyes? Obviously I was. I'm surprised you didn't pick up on it sooner. Yes, I'm serious. I think I'm a more than viable candidate to be your betrothed. Are you laughing? Really? And what did I say that was so funny? Well, it's not as if I'm suggesting that we marry for love, am I? I'm merely suggesting this for the sake of convenience. If anything, a marital union would be the only plausible course of action for the both of us. Don't tell me you haven't thought past the immediate implications of this demand from the council. I'd imagine that you were only the first to be forced into this position because you're the only one who has most loudly refused to consider entering a relationship. However, I highly doubt that you'll be the only one whose arm is twisted into making this choice. Being unattached myself, I'd imagine that I shall be on their list of who's next to force into a marriage. And I refuse to let myself be betrothed for such a ridiculous reason. If the two of us were to marry, it would resolve the problem. And why not? I dare say that our marriage is the best possible outcome at this point. We already understand each other and the situation we're in. We both know what we want out of this relationship and can continue on with our duties uninterrupted. And So long as we both have found a spouse, the council cannot complain about our decision. Though it might take our chance to marry for love, there is no better solution. No, I don't mind losing that choice. As it stands, I see no one that I could find an affection for. And if I'm to marry anyway, then you're far from the worst possible candidate. Dare I say it, but you're actually one of the best. I mean every word. Despite our history, I can think of no one I would find more compatible as a marital partner. Wipe that incredulous look off your face, would you? I'm not suggesting anything so unreasonable. Marriages of convenience between people of our standing are incredibly common, and I'd much rather you than a stranger who I've only met in passing at some formal event. The devil you know is better than the one you don't, after all. You're dismissing the idea without even considering it. I'd highly suggest you at least think about it for at least a moment. And why is that? Why are you so certain that I would be such an ill-fitted match to you? There are a vast number of reasons that say otherwise. We occupy the same position among our people, to start with. We have the same mindset towards duty and the same dedication to our work. We share many of our pastimes and have had many engaging discussions before, even if a majority of them were arguments. We even have a shared history in the form of a relationship. So surely there must be something about me that you find worthy of loving. No, that isn't what this is about. I'm simply stating that if you were in love with me in the past, then there must be at least some part of me that you get along with. That alone would make us better suited for marriage than any other random suitor that sees fit to grab our attention. Hardly. That romance died long ago, if you'll recall. Because even if our relationship died, the parts of us that found love for each other have not. Surely we can find a connection through those parts of us that drew us together in the first place. I didn't mean it in that way, and you know it. Yes, you do. It's been years, and I don't have any romantic feelings towards you anymore. No, I don't. Don't ask me that. There's no way to answer that where I can possibly hide my heart from you. Not when you're standing so close to me. Not when you're looking at me like that. I won't repeat myself. I'm not answering that question. If you still refuse to consider my suggestion, then I'll be on my way. Goodbye, Your Highness. I wish you luck and guidance on your path. What are you doing? Let go of my arm. What is there to talk about? I can think of nothing that requires any further discussion. That is not something we need to talk about. Now would you please unhand me? I suppose I'll take that as a no, then. So, pray tell, what is it that you so desperately wanted to know? And that is something that I'm not going to tell you. May I please leave now? Then could you at least take a step back? There's no need to stand so close. Then I promise I won't run. Does that satisfy you? I already am looking at you. Then what is it that you... Oh. Could you please let go of my face? This is hardly necessary. If that is what it will take, then fine. What is it that you need to know? You really want to know the truth? You're certain? The truth is that, yes, I do still love you. With a full, aching heart do I love you. You have a hold on my mind that I have not the words to explain. And I know that even if I were to try, I'd only succeed in getting tangled in my thoughts of you. To get lost in you is my greatest dream. And yet, where once it was so close, it's now so far. To be fully honest, I doubt I ever truly stopped loving you. Even in the moment when we decided to part ways, my heart was yours. Just as it was every moment before, and has been every moment since. For the sake of our people, we'd said. And yet it was only you that I could think of. My heart, I fear, will always long for you. Even if you were to dig your fingers into my chest and pull it from under my ribs, my heart would belong to you, and to you alone. It is yours. I am yours. I mean every word. You can tell, can't you? You always could read my eyes like no other. Tell me, my beloved sunlight, what do my eyes tell you? What all do you find in them, my sunlight? Adoration? Desire? Love? All of those and more? That is because my feelings for you are unchanged. They are the same as they always have been, and as they always shall be. Eternally, my heart remains yours. Yes, I'll admit that my marriage proposal might perhaps have ulterior motives, but there truly is some logic behind such a move. It's true that my benefits would be of a more personal sort, but there will also be more personal benefits on your end. Of course, if you're willing, I'd love to talk about the details of this arrangement. I'm sure that I can convince you that our marriage would be worth your time. Of course. If you give me an evening to tell you every detail, I'll show you a courtship that the world will never see the likes of again. Over drinks, perhaps? Excellent. Then when might you be free, so that we might discuss these matters? Now? But there's no drinks to be found here, unless you mean from the rain clouds that seem to be... My sunlight? What are you doing? With your neck bared like that, you're tempting a part of me that you know all too well. Surely you cannot mean that. To drink from you is... It's such an intimate act. You must remember that vampires do not make light of feeding from someone, yes? Please, I beg. Touching your neck like that. Running your fingers over those marks. You're doing unspeakable things to this poor heart of mine. I'm not strong enough to resist that lovely pulse. Nor those intoxicating eyes. Please, do not tempt me like this. My love. My sunlight. Please. I've never been able to tell you no when you found something you want. Even after all this time, that has not changed. Stars above. I am weak. Come here. Let me hold you close and feed into your wants. You are the sweetest form of wicked. You know that. Such a sweet demise you are. I've missed this lovely throat of yours, my sunlight. It feels so right against my lips. So warm and perfect. Just like kissing the sun. Are you ready, my sunlight? Good. Then hold tight to me, and let me remind myself of what I've missed so dearly. By the high courts, your blood. My memory was no match for the real thing. I think it might be pulling my heart towards you even more. Oh? Then have my lips convinced you to accept my proposal? That's only fair. It's a heavy decision to make. If I may, we could meet for drinks again? I swear that I can convince you of the benefits of an arrangement between us, if you'll only let me. Tomorrow, perhaps? We could meet here again, if that suits you. Good. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow, Your Highness.